Melissa gets real up close and personal as she unpacks a personal challenge that she's had to overcome in her entrepreneurial journey. Be sure to listen in intently in this second part of her discourse at Your Best Year Ever 2019.
Chiabata Cafe was born on Queen Street in Port of Spain. I was integral in everything from designing of menus to the actual design of the infrastructure, how it looked, how it felt. I even grew the herbs, the basil, to make the pesto. Imported the pans, the bread pans, the panini presses, the osterizers. Now, back in the day, this is when I was 25, 26, the panini wasn't a craze like it is now. Eh? People didn't know what that was. They thought I was giving them toast, especially in the middle of Port of Spain. So we there all eager, ready to sell ciabatta, ready to sell an experience. Well, I can tell you, that was the hardest year of my life. One, from it being heavily involved in managing quality of your product and service, motivating staff, paying staff, not getting paid, dealing with the demands of the customer, and the list goes on and on and on. I was way over my head. I believed that I knew so much, and the universe did its job and showed me how little I knew. Within, let's stretch it, 1 year, I lost everything. Gone. No longer. Had to sell off eventually all the equipment I just so proudly told you I bought. Called my mother as I was leaving the car park. Mom, you wouldn't believe, she obviously knew. I just was so broken and so hurt and so, oh God, I'm just imagining that feeling right now. I felt like my entire life was over. So I licked my wounds and I went back into the safety and the comfort of Pascal's bakery. Stayed there for two years, but I knew I had so many lessons to learn. That failure could never get me down. No way. After all, I'm a black belt in karate. I forgot to mention that. Yes. That was part when I was a child. By 12, 13 years old, I literally earned, oh look, did I have it brought it? Yes. My real first black belt. And let me tell you, this was the hardest belt you ever earn in your life. I ended up on the floor for this belt. I had black and blues, and I literally earned this. So if I could endure that level of physical pain and get back up, now I had to convert that into mental. So I recognized how much I was lacking. I enrolled myself to do International Masters of Business Development at Arthur Lockjack. Best decision I made in my life at that point. The school at that point had world-class professors. My cohort were industry leaders. It was the perfect place for me to be at that point. I was sharpened, I was pushed, I was motivated, and it was an uncomfortable situation. I knew I was growing. At 2014, I left Pascal's Bakery because I needed more. I needed mentorship, I needed guidance, I needed more in my life. I applied for a Scotiabank management trainee, and I got the position. They exposed me to world-class leadership. I was the youngest manager, 30 years old, responsible for a sales budget of over 90 million TT dollars and managing 6 personal banking officers. That moment in my life was also one of the hardest moments, to get staff to deliver, to get staff to buy in, to get staff to want to come to work, to want to meet their sales targets, so I don't have to work as hard. That was the most challenging time of my life. People management. It forced me to level up in so many ways because I had to dig deeper, recognizing my own shortcomings, recognizing how much I was lacking, because you cannot give what you don't have. So I had to level up I had to now convert all my readings and execute on it to ensure that I met those targets. Nobody wants to hear excuses in life. Guarantee you that. I did that, and I was molded. I understood so much, and I became such a better person. Again, being a manager at Scotiabank was one of the best decisions I made. And I thank Scotiabank as a corporation for that opportunity. Completing now, this coinciding where I'm almost finished my master's program. I always knew in my head, whatever I delivered as my practicum, I was going to implement it. I didn't even know what it was going to be, I just knew I was going to get it done. Time to write it, nothing else but flour and water came to my mind. So I went to CSO, started researching. Do you know Trinidad and Tobago imports millions of US dollars of dough, of baked bread, in all different forms and fashions? That blew my mind, How is it that a nation could be importing so much flour and water or derivatives of that? So I saw it as a massive opportunity. I looked for one that had very high barriers to entry. Anybody knows of Chiabata bread? It's an Italian bread. It is so hydrated that it requires significant skill to use, to make, to handle. You have to have specialized machine if you're going to do it en masse, and you have to have steam ovens. All barriers to entry. I did the feasibility on it, and guess what? It made sense. Now I go to my father. I call him Peter. Peter, here you go. This is the proposal. This is rock solid. It doesn't matter, because I'm not going to do it. I said, that didn't surprise me with my father. My father is a man that is very comfortable where he is. He may have right. So I had to ask myself, I found a mentor. This mentor was a very established business leader. I told him my problem, and I needed him to open doors for me to set up meetings with CEOs to be investors in this Chiabata company that I'm going to form. The man did what he asked. He set up all the meetings. I had many people came, but at the same time, one thing I'm learning in life: immaturity, inexperience, and rushing can cost you severely. The cost of those 3 items I just mentioned was that my mentor, who I trusted to set it up, he did well there, also managed to wrangle me out of my own business plan and present it to one of the largest food manufacturers and caterers in the Caribbean. What was my play now? I was in shock, but you can't stay in shock for too long because that's time. That's ticking away.